Bumpus would like to be released. Is that correct, madam? Yes, sir. Okay, all right. Sir, Mr. Copeland, is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time?
She's fired.
She's fired? Okay. So do you wish to represent yourself in these particular, in terms of any issues you may have in this particular...
Do I got a choice?
I'm sorry?
Do I got a choice?
Yes, you do.
And what are those?
You can keep your lawyer that you have right now.
I don't want her.
All right. You could certainly hire another lawyer, or the court could appoint you a lawyer.
Do what I need a lawyer for?
It's just the court is just asking you whether it's your choice, sir.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas, did you file an entry of appearance? All right. Did you, under the Uniform Superior Court rules, file a motion to withdraw pursuant to the Uniform Superior Court rules? I mean, I know you've given oral notice, but he was asking in writing, and he has 10 days to object.
So the problem with this is Woody can fire counsel at any time. The application to withdraw would be if the attorney wanted to withdraw from representing somebody. Right. They would have to make a motion. The judge would have to rule on it to give them permission.
And I said this on day one. Here he wants to try and have it on record that she is his attorney. She's making it clear that she was stepping in. She's not his attorney. She doesn't represent him, technically, and per all that's going on, like the entire, she was just stepping in. So when they had their ex parte meeting, she was there. However, she wasn't there as his official attorney representing him formally. Okay? But somehow somebody must have brought that to his attention. I don't know. Or he realized it. Either way, she's saying she wants to be formally allowed to, move on with her life. Oh, you need to withdraw as his attorney, but she fired. We good. He fired her. She can walk right out the door. But he's telling her she has to formally withdraw. Now, she does not. I would fight this before I would formally withdraw, because it still hurts us and helps them in all that they're trying to get away with, which to me is clear. Why? I don't know. But, at the end of the day, corrupt is corrupt, and didn't Donald Trump tell you? Okay? I'll be saying that a lot, too. Watch. However, he's telling her she needs to file a formal withdrawal. I would have told him, he stated he doesn't want me. He fired me. I don't need to put in a withdrawal. And then you think about how he said it. Listen to this.
At any time. The application to withdraw would be if the attorney wanted to withdraw from representing somebody.
It's a double negative, but it also would be a good way for them to formally have it on the record that she was his official attorney, representative, and when they had their little secret squirrel meeting, she was there on his behalf as his attorney, representing him. You understand this?
They would have to make a motion, the judge would have to rule on it to give them permission to withdraw. But if a client says you're fired, that should be enough.
Yep.
But there's an additional layer here on top of that Ms. Bumpus is going to argue that, look, I only stood in to represent Mr. Copeland during, these communications while his actual attorney, Melnick, is away on vacation. I was just temporary. And I was here for the purpose of that ex parte meeting and working out that contempt that was issued to him on Friday. But with that contempt order being purged, my work here is done.
Again.
I was never his counsel. Attorney Melnick was his counsel, and I was stepping in as a courtesy for judicial efficiency. But if the court court's desire for me to file a motion to withdraw.
Well, given the fact that you have represented Mr. Copeland at this point in time, it would seem appropriate that you do need to, in fact, file a formal withdrawal. Even though you didn't enter one, you de facto entered this case by your representation of him, or you telling the court that you did, in fact, represent him. So, at this point, I'm not inclined to release.
And he only wins half of this. It's not necessary that she can't necessarily deny being his representative. The only thing she can affirm is that she was temporary. But she was technically, if she was hired to be a fill-in for Melnick, then she was his official representative. Okay, cool. You got that. He fired her though. She don't need to put in nothing. And that's still important to him. Why? When he should know the law. He's a judge. She's been fired. National TV. All over Kanye's internet. Okay? In front of the whole courtroom. Leaning into the microphone. She's fired. Oh, she fired? Yeah, she fired. Okay. Do you want another representative? What I need a lawyer for? I mean, the court's just asking. That's a defensive response. Why don't you just tell him he has a right to representation, and being that he fired his attorney, the court is, covering their ass by making sure that you do not go unrepresented if you wish to be represented. Why you gonna throw your hands in the air and be like, well, the court's just asking. I said, bro, you're doing too much. You're doing a little too much.
Until that's done.
I'll get that done now, Judge.
Okay, all right. And he's got 10 days to go ahead and do that. So you're still gonna have to be here until I have not inclined to release you.
Listen to this.
Well, given the fact that you have represented Mr. Copeland at this point in time, it would seem appropriate that you do need to, in fact, file a formal withdrawal. Even though you didn't enter one, you de facto entered this case by your representation of him, or you telling the court that you did, in fact, represent him. So, at this point, I'm not inclined to release you until that's done. Withdrawal. Even though you didn't enter one, you de facto entered this case by your representation of him, or you telling the court that you did, in fact, represent him. So, at this point, I'm not inclined to release you until that's done.
I'll get that done now, Judge.
Okay, all right.
I'm watching people. I'm going to say this. And this ain't the first time. That's why I'm going to say it. Pay attention to them Three Stooges up front. Pay attention to the Three Stooges up front. This is not the first time I've seen this. They're communicating with the judge. And I'm going to leave it at that.
And he's got 10 days to go ahead and do that. So you're still going to have to be here until I have, because he gets that particular period of time to go ahead and decide whether or not he'd like to hire a lawyer. That's the whole reason for the 10 days.
This is bro, what are you doing? He can't even do this. If you don't take your, what? He get on my nerves because he feel like he's God. He think he can do what he want to do. Sir, the woman is fired. You must release her. He's trying to instill so many tactics that it's crazy. Intimidation, fear, control, forcing. It's too much. She's fired. She does not have to stay. She didn't ask to withdraw. You're trying to see, he's moving off of her withdrawing because he's forcing her to do so. So he's moving off that. If she wants to withdraw, she can put in a motion to withdraw. But he's not going to approve the withdrawal. Well, in this case, until he wants to. However, as long as the client is straight, okay, they have replacement representation, whatever. then he can let her go. You can't just up and leave your client high and dry, right? But she's fired. So he has to act upon that. He has to be like, okay, you could go. Then ask him, do he want other representation? He don't even want an attorney. He's not a freaking defendant. He's a hostile witness. What the hell?
I know. Hold on. Not yet. You get that right as a party. Okay.
Has the right to fire her, right?
He's got 10 days to go ahead and take of him, or you telling the court that you did in fact represent him. So at this point, I'm not inclined to release you until that's done.
I'll get that done now, Judge.
Okay, all right. And he's got 10 days to go ahead and do that. So you're still going to have to be here until I have because he gets that particular period of time.
So having watched Kayla's live, she expressed that how fearful she was. Apparently her bar card was she felt like it was in jeopardy. I'm going to say it like that. She was coming in, being very concerned. She did say fearful and things like that. Very tense, and she's been under this type of pressure for the past 2 weeks. Okay? We gotta be careful in situations like that, because that can also cause you not to be as quick on your feet as necessary. Don't be so afraid. I get it. This is a lot of this is never publicly seen before type stuff, and they're standing up against what is attempting to happen to them, and that can be kind of tough, especially in a little corrupt town where it seemed like, who gonna check me, boo? Because who checking this dude? Nobody. Who checking love? What? They all rocking together. Okay, you should see the sign language and the gang signs going on down there by the Three Stooges now. You're going to have to watch it again. Pay attention. Okay, put your shoes on. Because Kayla should have said, instead of, I'll do it now, Judge, she should have argued that. That's another, strategy PowerPoint that you're putting back in their court. Okay, are you on the checkerboard or the chessboard? Because once you do that, either way, it's going to change it significantly. This is a game-changing move right here. You either argue that you don't have to put in one. He has fired you and you should be released. And yeah, he gonna get mad. And we don't know, because we weren't in that situation, so we don't know how he's gonna react. But he don't take nothing for an answer that he don't want to take. And that's problematic. But she gave them I don't know. It's like, that was almost like, checkmate right there. Because now it's on record that she is his legal representative, when she kind of was, but she was a fill-in and he fired her. So that leaves no room for them to say he wasn't represented and properly during the ex parte. That shouldn't have taken place. Okay, a little secret squirrel. And this also gives the court side and the prosecution, because I say they're a team right now. People always suspect that, but here we go. Here we go. They all in the gang. They gang members, baby. This is the gang right here. Okay?
To go ahead and decide whether or not he'd like to hire a lawyer. That's the whole reason for the 10 days.
Well, I don't want to hire no.
Hold on. Not yet. You get that right.
See? See, why he didn't just get to stay his position right there, and then you let her go? It's that easy, that simple. No, he wants to make sure he intimidates her into going down there and formally filing a motion to withdraw that he will need to also approve. Yeah? What the hell?
Because he gets that particular period of time to go ahead and decide whether or not he'd like to hire a lawyer. That's the whole reason for the 10 days.
Well, I don't want to hire no.
Hold on.
Bro, we see you, Glanville.
Right.
Hey, dude, what's his name? Gladlock Bags? We see you. We're looking right at you. Okay? The entire time. We see you. Okay? Hello? Do you not? Hey, I see you. What the hell? This shit crazy.
As a party. Okay?
Has the right to fire her right here, right now.
You get the right to hire a new lawyer. You get the right to do a couple things. One, to decide whether or not you
And
release
this
her.
is
And he's saying
hold on. This is Kat, not Williams' channel. She was on Kayla's panel a couple of times, and shout out to her because this is video I'm using right now. She's saying the same thing. Like this is preposterous.
yes.
Whether or not you want to get another lawyer to be with you.
Okay.
Okay, those are the two big things you get a chance to kind of decide. But what I'm going to do at this point in time is, since she's representing you, I'm going to make her file a formal notice to withdraw.
Huh?
She's orally told you at this point in time she wants to withdraw. But you're on the stand. You're testifying at this point in time. So I'm not going to let her withdraw at this point.
Yeah, he's on the stand. He's been on the stand since Friday. And you still called an ex parte meeting in your chambers and didn't disclose it to the defense to have conversation.
Yeah, okay, Kayla. What's her name, Kat? That's never gonna change. All this right here he doing, I understand. It's a power play for him, and it does, give him a I can't. But bro, first of all, hello, sir. I don't know if you understand. We see you. Like we see what you're doing. Ain't nothing about this in the dark. Like, what the hell? Man, this is crazy. You gonna tell him you're not gonna let her go because he's sitting on the stand testifying, because you're gonna have to approve her motion for withdrawal that she hasn't put in yet, doesn't have to put in, because the boy keeps saying, the man keeps saying he don't want no freaking attorney and she fired. How you gonna pull a card that you don't even have and put that shit on the table? And act like that's boss right there. He act like he just put down a Joker card. What the hell? The big Joker on top of
Parte
that?
communications with a witness that's sworn in. Yes, Judge Glanville. We know that he's in the middle of testifying.
Well, Your Honor, I'd just like to say, before he started testifying, I was fired.
I don't know that, ma'am. That's not something that I have notice or knowledge of. So, that's the whole purpose of the rule, so that we can flesh out all those things. So at this point in time.
Did you hear what he said? Hold on. Right? I can't even. Did you hear what he said? Perjury, my son. What's wrong with this dude? Perjury at this point. Sir, where's oh, he don't want to go to jail again. Man, do we need to go all the way back to where? Yes, we do, because this is absolutely insane. Y'all, hold on for a second.
In open court, for the record, who it was that told him. I'm pretty sure that the judge has suspected that it was Mrs. Bumpus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before we call in
So
our jury.
with that, what she just said, I do think part of what he's doing here is that, because he has her on pins and needles, right? And she has been since he got confronted about his secret squirrel meeting. And the person wouldn't disclose, the attorney wouldn't disclose who it was that informed him about the meeting. However, the judge, because I think he actually kind of said he thinks it's her. Whatever. He does think it's her. And so he knows that he has her just sweating in the palm of his hands, right? And then too, he wants to set this up in his favor as well. So he kind of killing more than one bird with these stones he's throwing right here, but bro, you a whole bully right now. Like, you doing stuff that's illegal, but we gonna listen to, before he started testifying, actually, what he say? He's firing his attorney, and the judge say, oh, she fired? I mean, you told a bull-faced lie. What? Watch.
It has been brought to the court's attention that Mr. Copeland's counsel, Ms. Bumpus, would like to be released. Is that correct, madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What the hell? Okay, she want to be released, but she's not asking for a motion to withdraw. Okay, so let's clarify that. And here is how common sense tells us that. Watch.
All right. Sir, Mr. Copeland, is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time?
Here, look.
She fired.
She's fired?
Problem solved. We don't have a problem. Look. Is she smiling? Oh, damn. It almost, I think it's an upside down smile. Okay. Problem solved. We're clear. We understand each other. He clarified it and everything. Okay. So let's go back to where he starts lying.
But you're on the stand. You're testifying at this point in time. So I'm not going to let her withdraw at this point.
Yeah, he's on the stand. He's been on the stand since Friday. And you still called an ex parte meeting in your chambers and didn't disclose it to the defense to have conversations. Ex parte communications with a witness that's sworn in. Yes, Judge Glanville.
It's a fact.
We know that he's in the middle of testifying.
It's a fact. It already
Well, Your
occurred.
Honor, I'd just like to say, before he started testifying, I was fired.
I don't know that, ma'am. That's not something that I have notice or knowledge of. So, that's the whole purpose of the rule, so that we can flesh out all those things. So at this point in time, I'm not inclined to let you go at this point. I'm sorry that you put yourself in this particular situation with you and Mr. Melnick and whatever, but, Mr. Copeland does have rights in this particular circumstance.
He has the right to fire counsel.
What?
Effective immediately.
Oh, we concerned about his Mr. Copeland is witty, by the way, y'all. We concerned about his rights. The court is. Huh?
Proper notice to withdraw. I'll give once it's filed, if you file today, I'll give Mr. Copeland the 10 days. But until such time as I rule upon that and he gets that and gets an opportunity to think about what he'd like to do, I'll go ahead and insist that you remain with us while he's on the stand.
And I get it. You're not going to see 25 lawyers coming down there like they did for Steele. And he's not holding her in contempt or anything like that. But he is forcing her to make a play that legally he should not be able to. And they don't have to, shouldn't have to. There's no reason for it except for it is extremely beneficial for the court and the state. Okay? You understand? she can't stand up to him like Steele did. He'll crush her. He'll crush her. I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about ruin everything. Career over. You understand? Ooh.
Okay, Judge.
Okay. Madam, I have one other bit of business.
Can we approach? Can I approach, Your Honor, with the state?
No.
Wow.
What does he want to tell me?
I don't want to say it in open court.
Look at his body language. Let's run that back.
Can we approach? Can I approach, Your Honor, with the state?
No. What does he want to tell me?
I don't want to say it in open court.
Look at him. So he is taking a long time contemplating whether or not he's going to flat out deny her or he's going to allow it to happen. She's not going to say it in open court. She doesn't want to. Now, he's thinking about what would be the consequences, potentially, if I don't allow her to do this, because he don't want to. crazy.
All right, State, Ms. Bumpus, come on up.
State and Miss Bumpus, come on up. Guess who we didn't invite up?
Defense. Well, she didn't ask to come on this time. What's her
And
name?
I don't believe you have the right to be present,
Cat.
sir.
She didn't ask for the defense.
State objection to the record. I do think we have the right to be present. Yes, I think there's case law to that. We are now being excluded from a conversation about material witness statement.
Okay.
Prosecution, state versus
See, now he's doing a little too much. Because technically, everybody in this courtroom but you understand what's happening right now. Look at it. Look at him. Like, let her do what she need to do. Ain't none of y'all gonna stand up for this woman at any point in time. At any point in time, ain't nobody gonna have her back. Let her do what she need to do. This is not about the overall, like, your client and all that. This is about what's happening in this moment. Everybody in this fucking courtroom know this shit, man. Sit your ass down.
in a conversation between the court and that counsel for that witness and the state, you're now conducting a meeting with the court without the ability for me as the attorney for the defense in our case to be present and knowledgeable about those conversations. And in fact, that ex parte communication creates an appearance. I say this with tremendous reservation. I almost want to apologize for saying it to me, but I think it creates an appearance of bias on the part of this court. I don't mean to suggest Your Honor is doing that, but it creates the appearance of it. So I have to check. Okay.
It's impropriety.
Who is the guy standing there in front of the judge? His boyfriend? I mean, dude, the one that just stood up and opposed this because you're not letting me in. I mean, technically he's right, but the man, sit your... Because he's potentially inhibiting whatever it is she's trying to accomplish. Okay? It's not that deep. But then again, I mean, I'm not the attorney because if you let him do it this time, we already had a problem before. We don't want to let it happen again. And we don't want to give calls to say, well, you know, she asked me to stay in the court and nobody said anything then. Why are you saying something now? So, but, man, just sit your ass down.
For the Constitution, also denies Mr. Williams his right to a critical stage of the proceeding. And sorry, Your Honor, if I could just add to that for the record. I'm going to cite to the,
Okay, you see this dumbass shit? Ain't neither one of these defense attorneys stand up and oppose what he's trying to force them to do. Not one time. But you pulling up shit on your cell phone so you can sit up there and keep arguing. And this girl ain't even started really to try and do whatever she's trying to do. You know? Instead of sitting back and letting her do her thing real quick. Because you are not going to help her. None of y'all stood up and said, I object. You can't do that shit. But when he was messing with Steele, everybody had something to say. We're going to ride for ours. Fuck out of here.
Protocol 4.1, which prohibits this type of communication. I'll cite to the Georgia Code of Judicial Conduct, Rule 3.4, which prohibits this type of communication. And I'll cite to the court several cases which definitely support that. First is Monday versus Magnolia Advanced Materials, which is E15 Southeast 2nd 70. It's Georgia Supreme Court, 2018. I'm going to cite to the court. Win versus State, which is 139 Georgia Act 355, 1976 case. Trial judge should not sentence civic witnesses to testify on behalf of the state either in or out of the presence of the jury. And it also creates a presumption that the court should have to recuse itself. In that case is Curtis versus State. And that's 319 Georgia Act 432, That is the Georgia Court of Appeals case in 2012.
And he's dismissing this sidebar. He decides he doesn't want to do this right now.
Wow.
Your Honor, I just wanted to be given an opportunity to be able to respond to that on the record and to point out that the distinction between the assertions by counsel for the defendants and what is going on here, and the assertion being made that a trial judge should not intimidate or coerce a witness.
Neither should a prosecutor.
Actually, can we...
Yeah, hold on a second. Mr. Can I get you step outside for just a second? Let me finish this argument, please, sir.
They're going to have
Just
Woody
hold on.
step out, the witness
You want me
step
to go
out.
up?
Yeah, just step outside in the vestibule if you wouldn't mind, sir, please.
Why?
What I believe that Ms. Bumpus wants to address with the court is strictly and solely the civil matter that involves the motion of the state to compel her client, Mr. Copeland, to testify, and the motion of the state to the court to sanction Mr. Copeland if he fails to comply with an order of the court pursuant to 24-5-507. That matter is a separate matter from the trial that
Wait a
is
minute.
going on now. It is
we-
akin to
hold on,
the state.
Hold on. With that ugly ass green on. Did she just get up here and make an assumption about what it was Kayla was about to have a sidebar about? And then try to argue it? Is this what you doing? Let me rewind it so I can pay attention this time. The heck?
Actually, can we...
Yeah, hold on a second. Mr. Can I get you step outside for just a second? Let me finish this argument, please, sir.
They're going to have
Just
Woody
hold on.
step out, the witness
You want me
step
to go
out.
up?
Yeah, just step outside in the vestibule if you wouldn't mind, sir, please.
What I believe that Ms. Bumpus wants to address with the court
See?
is strictly and solely the civil matter that involves the motion of the state
This ain't
to
right.
compel her
He
client.
should stop. He should stop her. If he was being fair, he would stop her. Why are you standing up here trying to assume? Because Kayla not going to get a chance to speak. She done. Homeboy came and stopped her opportunity to do whatever she was trying to accomplish there. But he didn't stand up and tell the judge, hey, you know he fired her and you need to let her go. Say it legally.
Mr. Copeland to testify, and the motion of the state to the court to sanction Mr. Copeland if he fails to comply with an order of the court pursuant to 24-5-507. That matter is a separate matter from the trial that is going on now.
Okay.
It is akin to the state moving the court
Okay.
for a material witness warrant.
Okay, we they ops, so, but it sounds like she's saying exactly what I said. So let's see.
For a person who refuses to obey a properly served subpoena, it is not something to which either defendant is a party. And for that reason, it is our position that counsel for the defendants are simply wrong in this instance. And that if Ms. Bumpus chooses to address the court with the state regarding a matter to which the state as a moving party and her client as the person for which the state made that motion are involved only, then the parties to that matter are the state and Mr. Copeland.
There you go.
And so for that reason, I believe that Ms. Bumpus is entitled to address the court with the other party in that matter, which is the civil contempt order entered by the court on the motion of the state
Wow, I didn't see that
at the time that the state moved the court to compel the testimony itself.
All right. I don't know what she's going to say, so that may make it not subject to ex parte or not. But what does he want to tell me, madam? Can you tell me the subject matter?
Yeah, about when he said he fired. And
Well, no, that's...
There you
we
go.
have to have a hearing on that issue.
I would have said, damn, Kayla, come on, sis. What you doing? As soon as he said that, I would be like, Your Honor, I requested to approach with the state and the court. I do not want to discuss it in open court. Now you done. You was out, girl. You almost.
We'll have to have a hearing on that issue. That's not an ex parte
Damn.
matter. Okay.
what I'm trying to say is something that happened during the ex parte matter, which is why I don't want to say it in open court.
No, I'm good.
What?
I'm good at this point in time. I think you need to go ahead and reduce it to writing and your request to withdraw and your client, which will bring
Okay,
back in.
we have to battle. We have to battle at this point in time. She got her arms crossed. Girl, why you got your arms crossed standing like that? Come on. I get it, but this is such a defeated demeanor she's carrying here. I don't like that. That's unprofessional and is just defeated. I'll battle his ass at this point. I really would. I really would, cause yeah. It's no point at this point in time for y'all to half-ass fight this. But she dropped the ball when she did that. But how this fool ass nigga gonna sit up here and say he good? Nobody asked you if you wanted something to drink. She's making a request to approach the court in the state. What do you mean you're good? That's unacceptable.
Have a say-so on whether or not you can withdraw.
So he's still deferring back to Woody. Your client still needs to have a say-so on whether or not you can withdraw. But he said, she's firing her. I already tried to fire her.
Yeah.
And when Ms. Bumpus is trying to say, like, well, look, can we address this now? I don't want to address this in open court. Judge Glanville's just like, nah, I'm good.
And he should get another. And if he wants
you
to
know
have
what? Honestly, Kat, at this point, I would just be like, okay, forget approaching and call him out. Tell him he can't do what he doing. He fired me, and just had that battle.
No lawyer. So that's it. No, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be ex parte. Okay. Done.
Now she's about to make another argument here.
If there's no ex parte communication, I'm withdrawing my objection.
Okay.
I just want to make that clear to the court.
That's fine. You're doing your job.
No, shut your
Okay,
ass
can we
up.
bring
You
Mr.
sit up there, did all
Copeland
that,
back in, please?
but you still standing up and ain't saying nothing when this dude is clearly doing something illegal. Okay, but when Steele had his battles, everybody got something to say. Where the black dude at? Oh, okay.
Can we hold off until Mr. Copeland comes back in? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Just to put the court on the record, it's my understanding from last week's proceedings that Mr. Copeland was actually represented by Mr. Jonathan Melnick, and that the court required Mr. Melnick to be here on Monday, and Mr. Melnick indicated that he had non-refundable airline tickets and that he would have someone appear in his place. So I believe Mr. Melnick is still this gentleman's attorney.
We don't know that. We really don't know. I don't even know if he's in an appearance for the purposes of this, the circumstances thereof, but I'm dealing with it from the standpoint of Mr. Copeland is on the stand. He's a witness. He's had counsel. He's going to continue to have counsel.
What?
So that's the reason I'm stating this at this point in time. Okay, sir? But thank you for putting that on the record, okay? All right, so Ms. Bumpus, saw your motion, but until such time, you're going to need to remain as long as Mr. Copeland is a witness. And once we've had an opportunity to hear that, then
this isn't going to be over.
It's up now.
To begin with, because he's on the stand, he's testifying. Okay, so whatever arrangement you had with Mr. Melnick, I'm sorry that's put you cross purposes with not being able to be released. I don't know what difficulties it causes you otherwise, but I apologize on behalf of the court, on behalf of that. But
You're right. We did want to put something on the record as well, that Mr. Copeland has satisfied at this point his contempt by testifying. So if he remains and testifies, then unless he wanted to, there would be no purpose for it. So long as he remains and he testifies, that's the only if he pleads the fifth or fails to testify will he be subject to being placed in custody. So this time he has purged or satisfied his contempt because he has testified.
So Ms. Bumpus is nodding. So the prosecution is stepping in and saying, Judge, let Ms. Bumpus go. Let Woody
is the second time they tried it too.
His counsel. His order of contempt.
I'm sorry.
It's lifted.
I think that
as long as he's going.
I think Kayla's cool with them though, because you remember what he said. She got clout in Fulton County, And if you get arrested and you want to bond, if there's anybody you should call, it should be her. So I think she cool with them. I'm not gonna speak on a glad lot bags over here. He just he on a mission, so it don't matter.
To continue to testify, the reason that Ms. Bumpus was present as counsel in the first place isn't in effect anymore.
Remains in this posture, then we believe the contempt would be completed and he would not need an attorney. So, but I can't.
But that's his choice. That's what the rule gives him 10 days.
And what was his choice
We're
this
kind
whole
of
time?
saying, well, make that choice right now. We're telling him here in open court to do that.
Man,
so that's what the
then
court's
what should I
concern is at this
do?
point in time.
But Your Honor, I was representing him for the civil contempt, not as a witness. So that once he
There you
purged
go.
himself, I should have been released.
There you go. Speak up, sis.
The judge is quiet.
Add that. He fired me already. Either way. What you do? What he doing? Looking for something he can use? Why don't you just use whatever you want to use? You've been doing it. Man, this here.
We're Googling something.
Right. He trying
We're
to find
Googling something, so I'm going to speed forward.
Who cares? It's probably not
Tells her
going
to
to be
have
a
a
legal
seat.
move.
She goes and talks to the prosecution.
All right, Ms. Bumpus. At this, go ahead, man. You can take the podium, please. At this point, the court is still of the opinion that you need to file a motion to withdraw.
Damn.
An opportunity to respond to that.
Look at Woody.
Once you do that, and he has the opportunity to respond to it, I'll counter it. In fact, for unless he decides immediately that he wishes to not hold your or require your services, but usually he gets 10 days. So,
Hold on. Look at him.
require your services, but usually he gets 10 days. So,
And how would the court know if he's deciding immediately? Because
well, usually he's hearing. I mean, we have either the time passes and there's no objection is filed, and you get it immediately with it's granted, or I said it for him.
So this is jarble. Ms. Bumpus asked, how would we know? And he's like, well, if time passes, then immediately. What?
how would the court know if he's deciding immediately? Because
Well, usually he's hearing. Wishes to
What
not
you doing?
not hold your or require your services, but usually he gets 10 days. So,
Hold on. Look
how
at
would
him.
require your services, but usually he gets 10 days. So,
and how would the court know if he's deciding immediately? Because
well, usually he's hearing. We have either the time passes and there's no objection is filed, and you get it immediately with it's granted, or I said it for him.
So this is jarble. Ms. Bumpus asked, how would we know? And he's like, well, if time passes, then immediately. What?
how would the court know if he's deciding immediately? Because
Well, usually he's hearing. We have either the time passes and there's no objection is filed, and you get it immediately with it's granted, or
What? Was that even English? That sound like small mumbo jumbo. Sound like
I said it for a hearing, and he says, yes, I either don't want you as attorney, or I want to have you as attorney, or I'm going to get new counsel, or I've gotten new counsel.
and so Jonathan Melnick is just able to be released.
See, I don't know what the arrangement was between you and Mr. Melnick. I have no idea. That's not my purview. All I
She
know is
telling
that
you.
Mr. Melnick was here on Friday. He said he was going on a vacation. I don't know if he even properly entered it.
Okay, so based off of what the behaviors we've just seen from him, when he sits here and he says, I don't know what the arrangement was between you and Mr. Melnick, she told him. She just did. I'm going to also assume that it is also likely that when she first entered the scene, he was told, and before Melnick left off on his departure, because you wouldn't. Who is she? Where's Melnick? You understand, boy? If they don't get this dude, we protesting. At the end of the day, bro, you got to go. We over this. We done. You got to go. This is too much right now.
Appearance in this case. I know that his leave wasn't appropriate in this case because he asserted himself as and represented to all concerned that he was in fact Mr. Copeland's attorney. So, and then Mr. Melnick said that he would have counsel for Ms. Copeland on Monday, and that was you. And then you appeared on Monday. So I do think that you do need to properly withdraw and give your client an opportunity to do to have the full range of options. So until that's done, now Mr. Melnick may come back and may decide, well, yeah, I'm going to pick up, and I still represent Mr. Copeland, but I need to. I'll take up that issue when it was presented before me. Okay.
Damn.
All right.
He was quick on his feet with the, and then you appeared on Monday. I mean, that he was quick on his feet with that one. You know, you gotta be as a judge, though. I mean, everything I said, yeah, still same. But dang, I'm impressed how you pulled that one off, though. And then you appeared on Monday. But that doesn't excuse the fact that she explained to you, he explained to you, and she's explained to you already again, and you still sitting here, I don't know what kind of arrangement. Bro, just like you saying, I don't know he fired you. He said he fired her. He's making it clear and putting down on it that he doesn't want her as an attorney, and you're still forcing it. She said it several times. He said it several times already. Even the freaking state is trying to be like, bro, what you doing? I mean, this one here is a little too blatant. Because at the end of the day, these people want to succeed in whatever it is they're trying to do, and I guess is get rid of Thugger.
I'm going to set that matter for the morning of the 25th of June at 9 a.m. All right.
The judge thinks we're good, but
Nah, never that.
Judge, may I speak?
Hold on, Sergeant Ingram. You want your lawyer's not in here.
She's not my lawyer.
No, but you still have the opportunity to decide that, okay?
Wow.
All right. Your client wanted to say something, and he said, you're not my lawyer, but as I told him, I was about to tell him that he had 9 a.m. All right.
the judge thinks we're good, but
Judge, may I speak?
Hold on, Sergeant Ingram. You want your lawyer's not in here.
She's not my lawyer.
No, but you still have the opportunity to decide that, okay? All right. Your client wanted to say something, and he said, you're not my lawyer, but as I told him, I was about to tell him that he has the right to decide that issue, and he has to be given due process to decide that issue. So that's why I want that done in this case, okay?
Okay, Judge.
Okay, all right. So, at this point, anything else? As in respect to Ms.
He was
Bumpus?
trying to say something.
You didn't give me time to say that.
Okay, I'm sorry. What else did you want to say?
Bro, get the fuck. That's intimidation. He don't want him to say nothing. Look at how he pierced in on him. Look at this dumbass shit. You whack as hell. He asked, could he say something? Your attorney is not in the room. She enters the room and he like, well, he said he wanted to say something, but I already told him he couldn't say nothing because you ain't here. And you still represent him because you did blah, blah, blah. And then he like, okay, we done. What is in there like, bitch, didn't I just ask you to say something? And look at him. Look at him. What you doing? What you doing, son? What you doing? You a bitch.
Miss Melanie told me that she was only going to be here for 1 day. And that
Make sure we
she was going to make sure that after she done then, it was going to be...
See, but I have no knowledge of those discussions, and because they asserted themselves as your lawyer, you have certain constitutional protections as being represented by an attorney.
Wow.
I don't know what was said to you. I don't want to know what was said to you, but I'm just looking at who showed up and what they told us, meaning that me and the other parties
He's
here.
telling you what? And what did they tell you then? See how he not making no sense? This is team do whatever I want to do. Well, how's that allowed? How's that allowed? Man, go sit your ass in jail somewhere. This is crazy.
So I don't know, and that's my kind of pause in this particular circumstance is that, and I need to find that out. So filing a withdrawal would help the court in this particular circumstance. Yes, Mr. App.
Just briefly, Your Honor, my application is always to help educate and inform the court. Uniform Superior Court rule does indicate that the 10-day requirement is made if the client consents to a term of the trial.
I tell you what, Mr. Copeland, I'm going to send our jury to lunch. I'm going to let you talk with Ms. Bumpus afterwards, okay?
All right.
And then during the lunchtime hour, and then after that time, I'll go ahead and make a decision at that point, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, okay.
So after lunch, Miss Bumpus gets back up to the podium.
Good afternoon, madam. Again. Okay, did you have an opportunity to talk with your client, Mr. Copeland? Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Yes, and I got him to sign a written consent.
I need a microphone inside Young Thug's head. All this is happening around getting to or continuing with his damn trial over a year. That's crazy. What did he do? I really don't care to get into that, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Guilty, innocent, did, not did. Look at this shit. This is the focus. This is the focus.
I filed a motion to withdraw, and I proposed an order.
Okay, can I see it, please?
Wow.
Madam Pro?
You can. I'll mark this as the next court's exhibit in order.
I don't agree with this. I don't think they should have did that. They gave them a major power play, in my opinion. Well, not necessarily major, but if they use it in a majorly way, I would have stood down on. She fired. I fired her. He fired me. Let me go. I would have stood down on that. I would have kept the pressure on, because eventually it looks like others are gonna join, because at this point, bro, this is ridiculous. Why you holding this woman? Let her go.
Do you have a formal order that you're going to prepare with the style of the case and the case number?
Yes, Judge. That's just his signature. I prepared an order, and I filed a motion with the clerk's office.
All right, okay. Mr. Copeland, let me hand you.
Okay, so it wasn't a formal. Okay, so it sounds like, I'm going to assume, and now they're not going to show it to us. He let them meet real quick, and they drew up a statement that I fired her. I'm requesting to be let go because I am fired. Blah, 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 blah.
Document. Did you read and sign that document?
Yes.
All right. Did you have an opportunity to talk with Ms. Bumpus to your satisfaction about pros and cons of her withdrawing as your counsel in this case?
Yes.
Do you wish for her to go ahead and withdraw as counsel?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me have that back in my mind. Okay, I'll mark this as the next court exhibit in order, madam. We got it. We'll just mark it as the next court exhibit in order.
So he's finally going to let her withdraw as Woody's counsel.
But do you need a copy of it?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right.
But he still wants
so
in order to show cause.
Authorize you to withdraw as his counsel in this matter. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
As a result.
No, Judge.
Okay. All right.
But he still wants in order to show cause.
Authorize you to withdraw as his counsel in this matter. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
As a result.
That's fucked up. I'm gonna recuse you. No, I'm gonna allow you to go do what the fuck I told you to do, bitch. Go put in a formal withdrawal as his attorney. Oh, hell.
We'll have you appear on the 25th of June. I have filed an order to show cause. And
we're about to look at
a copy of it. You can read it, acknowledge it, just that you received a copy of it, and we'll see you on the 25th of June at 9:30 in courtroom 1C.
That's whack as
hell.
Right.
So you need to be here for that day, okay?
Okay.
All right. See you then.
Just as a reminder, I was fast forwarding through all the dead air, all the recesses, all of the, people entering and leaving the courtroom, and it still took that long for Judge Glanville to agree to relieve
That's crazy.
Ms. Bumpus. And we're going to look at this order to show cause. It's real short. And I want to know your thoughts. Why do you think Judge Glanville still wants Ms. Bumpus to come back? What does he want to find out? What does he want Ms. Glanville to talk about? Could it be that ex parte meeting? What or who disclosed something, if anything? Let's read this. So this again was just filed right when he said that was like around 3 p.m. today. The court having been presented with an issue of contempt for determination, all individuals that were present for the ex parte conversation that took place in the court's chambers on the morning of June 10th, 2024, to include the witness, Mr. Kenneth Copeland, his attorney, Ms. Kayla Bumpus, and all representatives of the state and the court security personnel that were in attendance.
So that was standard. Said why he want her to come back so he can get at her one more time. Listen, everybody know who Suge Knight uncle is. These are jokes. However, he unlike he Suge Knight. Okay, back when Suge Knight ass was out, I don't know what happened to make him run over somebody and then get in jail and start doing podcasts about we need to love each other, we need to come together, we need to represent blah blah blah. Boy, just do your time, cause